Hi, Carmen Cooper here. I'm the yoga teacher at Cliff Nelson Recreation Center. This sequence is for families. Let's do some standing poses. We're standing here in mountain. Mountain is just standing with your feet about hip distance apart. Your weight is equally distributed around your feet. And if you tune in, you can feel your body constantly adjusting itself. If you put the palms and the fingers of both hands together in prayer hands, that's a mudra, or a hand position, as we call them in yoga. If you let your thumbs tap right where they land, when you put your hands together, that's your thymus gland right there. And that helps spike your immunity. Let's take a big inhalation, raise our arms up, get really, really tall. And this is upward salute. Let's interlace our hands together, turn the palms up, and let's just sway gently in the wind like a palm tree. As we exhale, we sway to one side. Inhale, back to center. As we exhale, we sway to the other side, back to center. Synchronize with your breath and go at your own pace. When you're done, exhale and let your arms float down. Let's do a windmill. Let's separate our feet a little bit more, and we're going to let our arms swing from side to side. And as we do, we're going to raise our heels so we won't twist our knees. Easy little twist. Warms up the spine. From here, let's go to chest expander. You have some options here. You can interlace your hands behind your back like this, or if that doesn't work for you, you can grasp opposite forearms. But if you're using the hands interlaced, what we want to do is raise the arms out just a little bit behind us. And if this is enough for your shoulders, put you into a minor little back bend and expands your chest. But if this is easy and not a challenge, you can exhale and float forward and let your hands come out over your head. And when you're ready to come up, inhale as you come up. If you inhale while you're coming up, it helps even out your blood pressure. Now let's take a wider stance. point, both hands out to the sides for a 5-pointed star. Our head is 1 point. Our 2 arms are 2 more points. That makes 3 points. And our 2 legs make the final 2 points. From here, we're going to turn the right foot out, the left foot slightly in, and we're going to float down into triangle. You can look at the floor, the opposite wall, or you can turn and look up at your hand. Inhale as you come up. Turn your torso to face your 90-degree foot on the right. Inhale, raise your arms, get tall, float down into pyramid. Head goes towards the knee. Inhale as you come back up. Bend your knee over your ankle. Adjust your stance so that it's comfortable for you. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Warrior 1. Flow to Warrior 2. Torso faces the front. Arms straight out. Gaze out over your right fingers. Flow to extended angle pose. I'm going to do beginner. Elbow on the knee. Hand behind the ear, elbow points to the ceiling, look up. Inhale as you come up into standing warrior. Right hand on the back of the left thigh. Right hand points to the seam between the ceiling and the wall. Gaze out over your right fingers. Turn the hand over. Bend back a little bit. Exalted warrior. Release. Turn both feet at about a 45-degree angle. Bend the knees. Wisdom mudra for goddess. This is how we're going to transition to the other side. Straighten your knees. Turn your left foot out 90 degrees. Your right foot turns slightly in. Inhale the arms up. Here we are back in 5-pointed star. And we're going to float down into triangle. Left hand goes down on the left leg. You can look at the floor, the opposite wall, or turn and look at your hand. Inhale as you come up. Turn your torso to face your 90-degree foot. Inhale. Get tall. Float down into pyramid. Head goes towards the knee. Inhale as you come up. Bend the knee over the ankle. Adjust your stance if you need to. Inhale. Warrior one. The more you bend that front knee, the more you're going to fire that big leg muscle in your thigh. Flow to warrior two. Torso faces the front. Arms straight out. Gaze out over your left fingers. Flow into extended angle pose, elbow on the knee, hand behind your ear, elbow points to the ceiling, look up. Flow to standing warrior. Right hand on the back of the right thigh. Left hand points to the seam between the ceiling and the wall. Gaze out over your left fingers. Turn the hand over. Bend back a little bit. Exalted warrior. Release. Let's do some hip circles. I like my feet about a little wider than my hips. You can put your hands on your hips. Just start circling your hips around. Now let's go back the other way. A variation. Let's take our right hip and make a half circle with it towards the back. The left hip, half circle towards the back. Lift your heels as you do this if you need to ease your knees. but alternating sides. It's called a figure eight. Lubricated up our hips with those two. Let's do another mudra. If you put the heels of your hands together, your thumbs together, and your pinkies together, this is Lotus Mudra. Lotus is a beautiful flower. It's a fragrant flower. So let's bring our lotus toward our nose as we inhale to smell our flower. Let's raise our shoulders up around our ears. And then as we take the flower down, we exhale and exhale through your mouth. Smell your flower. Inhale. Raise those shoulders up. And exhale and let the shoulders drop down. One last time. Inhaling, shoulders come up around your ears. Smell your flower. Exhale and the shoulders come down. I'm going to move down to table. Table is just on your hands and your knees. We're going to pretend like we're dogs and we're going to wag our tails. Have you ever seen your dog do a stretch where they stick their front paws out and drop their head down? This is a yoga pose. It's called Down Puppy. Try to keep your hips over your knees and drop your head down toward the floor. Maybe your forehead will touch the floor. Maybe not. Doesn't really matter. Okay, back to table. And this time we're going to turn our toes under and push back into downward facing dog. Bend one knee while you straighten the other. Alternating sides. Stretching out your hamstrings. Only if you want to. Raise one leg. Make it a three-legged dog. If you do it on one side, try to do it on the other. To come safely out, just drop your knees. You're back in table, and you can just sit down, or in our case, we're going to go to pose of a child. Sit back on your heels, splay your legs apart, drop your torso forward. I like to prop my head up on my two fists. One fist stacked on top of the other. So there you have it. A few standing poses you can do together as a family. Don't ever be afraid to modify your yoga if you need to make it easier. If you need cushioning under your knees when we put our weight on our knees. If you need a pillow under your head when we're lying down. Whatever you need to be comfortable. If you're comfortable, you're more likely to do your yoga. Have fun with it. Thanks for tuning in. This is just a brief family practice. Again, I'm Carmen Cooper. See you next time. Namaste.